Golden Gales, the best of luck tonight. Go Gales!
Interface Video presents the Buffalo Wild Wings High School Game of the Week, brought to you by Dagger Long, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield Federal, Buckeye Toyota, Fairfield Medical Center, Buckeye Lake Marina, Personal Touch Party Rentals, Fairfield DD, North Body Shop, Fairfield County Adam H., The Carriage Company, The Savings Bank, Sheridan Funeral Home, and ExploreHawkingHills.com.
It's week number 5 of the high school football season. Tonight we're at Fulton Field for an OCC Buckeye Division matchup between the Lancaster Golden Gales and the Groveport Madison Cruisers. Hi everybody, I'm Jared Stewart alongside Marion Royster. And tonight we've got a good one for you. Marion, let's jump right into it, talk about these two teams. Anytime they get together, it's always fun, especially in the last few years, namely because these two coaches not only know each other, they're neighbors, but they don't talk at all during this week.
Yeah, like you said, Jared, they know each other. They're familiar with one another. I don't think it's a coincidence that these teams are very similar to one another, almost mirror images in some aspects of it. They both run very similar offenses, versions of the wing tee, which is, the power run game, but they're also incorporating other aspects of that. Also very similar in their personnel, kind of ways that their identity is. They're very hard-nosed, very hard-hitting, physical teams. Their quarterbacks actually share a lot of similarities, same with the running backs. So a lot going on with both of these teams should make for an interesting matchup.
Tonight's pregame is brought to you by Personal Touch Party Rentals. Carol and Eric Whittington would like to invite you to stop by Personal Touch Party Rentals and Events in Lancaster. They're a small family-owned business that's been serving the Central Ohio area since 2003. They would love to help plan your next event, all with a personal touch. Stop out and see their showroom on Hubbard Drive in Lancaster. This is a game that from 2000 to 2015, Lancaster won 16 straight games in this matchup. From 2016 to 2019, they didn't play at all. OCC realigned. Then from 2020 to 23, they split the 4 games they played. Groveport won in 2020 and 23. Lancaster won in 21 and 22. So this has been an even match over the last 4 years. But I tell you what, this is a Groveport team with some absolute studs on both sides of the football.
Yeah, it's a very interesting, when you talk about Groveport and the athletes that they have, they can really create some mismatch at different positions. I really like their, the receivers actually, 4 wide receivers, all 6'3" or better, can run like deer, make a lot of plays on the outside, and that's not even talking about their quarterback, who plays extremely well, Baker Bowden. We'll talk about him quite a bit. And then they are extremely good in the running game as well. Rashad King's a great running back that they have, big playability. And then, of course, you talk about their 2 great defensive ends, Keyshawn Calhoun and Jalen Joyce, should be wrecking havoc for the Cruisers.
Groveport comes in at 3-1 under the head coach Mitch Westcamp, who's in his 5th season. He is a graduate of Groveport Madison back in 1999. Of course, Lancaster Golden Gales come in 2-2 under coach Brian Schoonover. This is his 4th season. Also a graduate of Groveport Madison. He was the head coach at Groveport for 7 seasons. Let's talk real quick about his team and his personnel. He's got a couple of backs back there. Of course, when you run the wing tee, you've got to have a stable of backs. One guy, Jamir Gordon, really has come on strong for them. Last week rushed for a career-high 185 yards on 27 carries and had the game-tying touchdown on a 30-yard run with just under 3 minutes to play, and they're really excited about him.
Yeah, and they should be. Gordon's an excellent back, has great speed, runs very hard behind his pads. breaks a lot of tackles despite his frame, and that's not to mention Isaiah Sweet as well, who's an extremely good back as well. Will carry a lot of the mail for them. But true to their kind of history, Lancaster tends to kind of come at you in waves. They like to have multiple backs, a stable of backs, as we always say. They've taken that on, and like I said, they've also incorporated other areas in the passing game. I think Brody Burke is really coming into his own, and then they've got a great tight end as well. Kim Griffin. Yes.
The Gales will kick off. It's brought to you by Sheridan Funeral Home. Sheridan Funeral Home is proud to be supporting high school football. They've been serving the communities of Lancaster and Fairfield County for over 100 years. So we'll get our first look at this Gales defense, who has been really, really good this year. In fact, they went up to Marysville, and that defense almost single-handedly won the game for them.
Yeah, had 2 defensive touchdowns and looked really good, able to create pressure and turnovers, which is, when you win the turnover battle, you've always got a good chance to win the game. One
of the things that Coach Schoonover talked about is he's got some youth on this team, but they play hard, and they want to get better every day.
Yeah, and you can tell that they are making some mistakes as they go, but they're cleaning those up. I think last week notwithstanding, they've really made improvements in every kind of phase of the game, and they're just kind of coming to their own and to get more experience. You see a lot of the players that didn't get a whole lot of playing time last year. The more they're in there, their confidence is just building, including Brody Burke and all the other running backs are just gaining that confidence as they go.
It'll be Groveport to go on offense to start the game. We have stoppage already. I think we need to reset the play clock. And after this first play, we'll get our keys to the game. So Lancaster will be on defense first. You mentioned those 2 touchdowns by the defense that they had. Hunter Metz came up big in that game. He scored the first one on a 75-yard scoop and score. They also had some big sacks leading to that. Landon Knock got some quality sacks. Those guys doing a really good job on this Lancaster defense. On first down, it's a run right over the right guard, and that's going nowhere as he's going to be stopped. Nick Evans made the initial hit for the Gales.
So, Jared, the keys to the game tonight, I think with Groveport, first and foremost, they need to be tough and physical at the line of scrimmage. Lancaster has a huge offensive line, so they're really going to have to match that physicality. I think they also have to, take advantage of the length and speed that they have, not only, on the perimeter, but also in the defensive line. They can really, kind of use their speed to their advantage, and then pressure the quarterback with those defensive ends, try to force them in some of those turnovers that you have seen Lancaster be prone to at times.
You mentioned the quarterback, Baker Bowden, for Groveport, just a sophomore, played every game last year as a freshman, and I tell you what, you talk about getting experience right away. I saw him play as an 8th grader, and he was really impressive.
Yeah, and he, Shu and I did their game last year, this game, the rematch, and he was really solid, kind of baptism by fire. Yeah. I think that Coach Westcamp has really, challenged him, to, again, take the lumps last year and come out this year better on the other end of it.
Bowden will hand it off again right up the middle, and again stopped right away. This time it's Hunter Metz making the initial hit. Those keys to the game brought to you by North Body Shop. Since 1979, North Body Shop has been providing professional auto collision repairs on all makes and models. Don't think of going anywhere else to get your vehicle looking like new again. We pride ourselves on serving all of collision repairs needs throughout Fairfield County.
And I think Lancaster, they've really on the offensive side of the ball have to account for Calhoun and Joyce at all times. They really need to establish the run, stick to the game plan, not really play outside of themselves, try to shorten this game, play in a phone booth with Groveport, muck it up a little bit, and see if they can, keep it close at the end.
Bowden's pass is tipped at the line of scrimmage. Getting a hand on it, I believe, was number 2, Cody McCoy.
Nice job there by Lancaster, able to, force some pressure immediately in Bowden's face. Able to get a big paw up there and knock it down. And if you're Lancaster, the Lancaster defense, you couldn't ask for a better start.
Absolutely. Here's the replay.
Yeah, a little bit of an exotic blitz there, but you saw the linebackers come late and perfectly timed there.
Yeah, really good job by Cody McCoy.
Yeah, Cody McCoy.
Replays
nice
tonight brought to you by Dagger Law. Back to punt for Groveport. I believe that's number 8, Joshua Moore. Punt will be taken right at the 50-yard line by the Gales. And Andrew Whitlatch will go out of bounds close to the 40-yard line. Really, really good starting position for the Gales on their first offensive possession.
Excellent field position. And again, starting on their side of the 50. Again, for this, in this case for Lancaster, they want to make sure that they take care of the football, perhaps get themselves in field goal range, if not touchdown. But again, it's a matter of not making mistakes early, keeping this positive momentum going, and try to see if they can get a score in here early against the Cruisers.
Here come the Gales in those classic gold helmets, wearing all blue tonight. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. They'll be led by junior quarterback Brody Burke. Been getting better every game, getting comfortable in this offense. Burke back to pass, nobody in the backfield with him. He hits his man, that's Isaiah Sweat, and Sweat diving for more yards. Good second effort.
Yeah, nice effort by Sweat. And again, the comfortability of Bowden, or excuse me, is excuse me, Burke.
Yeah,
Burke and Bowden. I'm going to have to keep them straight tonight, especially with the alliteration of both the names. But no, Burke looking more comfortable, as you said, every single time. Really throwing on the run much better this season. And he flashed a little bit last year. Again, the game against New Albany that we covered had a really nice 2-minute drive at the end of the quarter. And you can just kind of see him again, gaining more confidence coming into his zone, looking good on that first play.
If we're playing Wheel of Fortune, I'm taking a B. Brody Burke.
And Baker Bowden. Try to say those 5 times fast.
2nd down and 7, just under 10 minutes to play in the first quarter. Burke will hand it off. And Jameer Gordon will be stopped right about the line of scrimmage, bring up a 3rd down and about 6. They'll give him one gain of 1.
And that's not a bad run, again, off tackle, you know, gaining some positive yards, keeping it in 3rd and reasonable. So they have 6 yards here to go. And again, the Golden Gales with the opening up, I call it the diversification of their offenses. They're incorporating, timing passing routes and things like that. They feel much more comfortable in these 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 situations than they did a couple years back.
Stop for Groveport made by Tyreek Ruffin. He has 15.5 tackles on the season. 3rd down and 6. Burke to pass. It is caught, but immediately wrapped up. Tackle made by Amir Dunlap.
Fantastic play there by Dunlap. Didn't bite on anything. We see it on the replay here. And Lancaster actually has things loaded. Actually, this is the play before.
Yeah.
Nice stop there by the Cruisers. But as we saw, on that play that we just saw, really nice job there by Amir Dunlap. Did a nice job of understanding what the down and distance was, saw the formation. You got 2 overloaded receivers on this side. One of them was Cam Griffin, understanding there was most likely a screen, able to get in there and make the tackle.
Gale's going to play the field position game. They'll punt it away, try to pin him back deep. Ethan Graham, high punt, takes a sideways bounce and will be down right about the 14-yard line, and that's where Groveport goes back on offense. See what this Gales defense can do. They did outstanding in that first possession, 3 and out.
Yeah, looked really good. And again, this is taking on some of the characteristics that we saw in last year's game. At 13-3, it was a real slugfest, if you will. Just fighting for every yard. Field position was a huge factor in last year's game. And kudos to Coach Schoonover, who knows what type of game this is going to be. You don't have to do anything stupid on the first drive. You got a lot of time to play. Try to play field position, pin them deep. We'll see what the Cruisers do with the 15.
Rayshad King stands behind Bowden in that pistol formation. King was a 1,000-yard rusher last year. Here he is on 1st down, getting out across the 20-yard line. Really good run. Going to spot it at about the 24. 9-yard run on 1st down.
And that's one of the lost parts of King's game. Lost depending on who you ask. But, King has such big playability, has great speed, gets in the open field, able to make guys miss. But he also runs really good between the tackles.
Yeah.
Runs very hard, very good behind his pads. Again, you'll hear me say a lot of times, and I think his game and Jameer Gordon's game really are similar to one another. Their frame looks similar. They run really similar with the football. But, able to get 8 yards, 9 yards on that first play, excellent job.
2 receivers to the bottom, 1 to the top with King behind Bowden. Bowden turned to his right. King was to his left, so he's going to have to tuck it in and run and look for blockers, and that's going nowhere. It's going to back him up a couple yards.
Baker Bowden pushed out of bounds by Lancaster.
I don't know if you saw that right at the beginning. Bowden turned to his right, but King was on his
other
left.
Way, yeah.
Here it is.
And that happened. We'll see on the replay here. Whoops. Which way you going? I'm going the other way, and then, not much you can do in that way. In that instance, just a scramble drill.
I tell you, luckily, though, for Groveport, Baker Bowden can run. I saw him
Yes, he can.
When he was in 8th grade, playing against the Lancaster Gales over at General Sherman, they were backed up 3rd and 30 on their own 1-yard line, and he ran a sweep around the end, kept the ball, and ran it for 99 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah, there's so much athleticism on the Cruiser sideline. It's easy for his ability to get lost in the shuffle, but he's got just as much athletic ability as any quarterback you'll see.
Bowden's pass is complete, but I don't think he got the first down. That's close.
No, that route was definitely short of the sticks. It looks like they are going to mark him a yard short.
14,
Landon Knock had the tackle.
4th and 1.
Well, I tell you, Knock has really played well on this defense for the Gales. He and Hunter Metz have stepped up big time.
Yeah, at the linebacker position, again, it does a nice job of getting his drop on that one, knowing where it was down in distance. He's standing right at the stick, so when that receiver cuts right in front of him, he knows to jump immediately on him. And, yeah, he's played tremendous. Part of the reason why this Gales defense has been so impressive, and they're going to go for it here.
Maybe a tush push here. They don't need it. Trying to see the number. That he's still going.
That's James Joyce.
All the way across the 35-yard line.
Jalen Joyce.
Wow, Joyce just carried guys with him.
Number 14, Landon Knox.
Look at here on the replay, Jared. And he just moves the pile there.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, Joyce goes 6 foot, 260 pounds,
wow,
and is every bit of it. Again, last year he was extremely tough to bring down. We saw him break tackle after tackle after tackle. Yeah, he goes in that special jumbo package. When it's 4th and short, it's hard pressed not to just give him the football and tell him to go forward.
And he was the OCC Defensive Player of the Year last year. He was first team All OCC, 3rd team All Ohio. He was first team All District, and he's got several Division II offers right now.
Yeah, I heard an interview with Coach Westcamp earlier in the season, and he said with a straight face, I'm assuming it was a straight face, that Joyce was the best player in Central Ohio. And there's a lot of good football players here in Central Ohio, but he has that much confidence in his ability, and he's shown it throughout the season.
2nd down and less than a yard here for the Cruisers near midfield. Give over the right guard. And that's going to be enough for the first down. I believe that's King again on the carry. No, check that. Wasn't King. It was number 5, I think. Yeah, Nick Hodge. 5'9" junior.
Yeah, and Hodge, again, a smaller guy, especially when you look at some of the other guys on the Groveport team, but he still lines up, in that fullback position in the wing T, and is, what he lacks in size, he makes up for in quickness, able to hit those traps very quickly as the first man through, keeping the defense honest and getting those tough yards as he did there.
1st and 10 at the Gale 49-yard line. Clock rolls down to 4:53 to play in this first quarter. No score from Fulton Field. Here's Joyce again, this time a shorter game. A little bit of extracurricular activity after the tackle.
Yeah, that time they had Joyce lined up in the deep tailback position with the fullback in front of him. They've thrown at least 7 or 8 different formations at Lancaster so far in this game, and that's just going to keep Lancaster, on their toes. Their ability, where they have so many different athletes at so many different positions, able to put them in different places, is going to keep the defense guessing at all times, and we'll see if that continues.
2nd down, and we'll call it 8 at the Lancaster 47. King again behind Bowden. Here's King on the carry. And going to be wrapped up right about the 45-yard line. Initial hit made by Cody McCoy.
And number 33, Jackson Reynolds.
McCoy again does a nice job there of recognizing run early and filling in the hole. King is not a tough person to tackle, whether he's in space or running behind the tackles. So the fact that he was able to just kind of stick his nose in there, get right in there, and smack him and meet him in the hole, kept it to a minimal gain, and now Cruisers have 35.
Big 3rd down here for the Cruisers. 2 receivers split out wide to the right. Bowden fakes the handoff, dumps it over the middle, wide open, across the 35 and down near the 30-yard line. Good pitch and catch there.
Yeah, that's Ronye Wilson. There was a nice recognition, almost kind of a run-pass option there out of Bowden. Did a nice job, as we see here on the replay. Immediately pulls the ball down. Those linebackers trying to get back in the position. By then, it's too late.
I think Wilson
does a nice job.
Yeah, after he caught it, he turned. I think he was surprised he wasn't getting hit right away.
that's a courage route, as they say, going over the middle there. But he's looked and said, "Oh, no one's hit me yet. Let me keep running and get a couple more yaks."
1st and 10. Here's King. No, Bowden kept it himself. Going around the left side. He's going untouched. He faked everybody out. Wow, Baker Bowden.
in for the score.
I mean, he could have walked into the end zone. Nobody saw him.
Yeah, that was a tremendous play call. And again, how would you like to be a defensive end? You've got to worry about Rashard King, but then the ability of Bowden. Oh, this is the play before. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
Yep. Just pulls it out, takes it around the end. No one's even paying attention.
What a job by the sophomore quarterback.
Yeah, you talked about his athleticism, Jared, and that it's on full display there. He didn't need a whole lot of it there because he was untouched, but just having the speed to be able to call that to come out the back end when they're not ready for it.
Extra point attempt is up, and it is good.
Sanchez kick is good. Groveport 7, Lancaster 0.
So the Cruisers score first. They're up 7-0 with 2:57 to play in the first quarter. Tell you what, that's as good of a fake that you'll see in high school football.
Yeah, that's a really good one. And he's had a couple of those throughout the season. Maybe not as clear and untouched as that one, but again, you create so much attention on Rashard King because he is such a big play guy. Not to mention the receivers that you have out wide. So you're thinking, where are the receivers at? Are they going to run deep? Well, what's King going to do? Is Joyce perhaps lined up in the wingback position? All of a sudden you have Bowden coming out the back end, keeping the football. No one's paying attention to him. But again, with his athleticism, you've got to account for him as well.
Jackson Lutz will kick off for the Cruisers. Jack is a soccer player, also a pitcher on the Groveport baseball team. Actually coached Jack for a few years in summer baseball.
Did you? Yeah. You've coached a lot of good athletes here. Seems like every other game we do, you've got
a funny story about. I got a funny story about Jack. He's a good kid. One time he was pitching and he's a talker. He just likes to talk, not trash talk, just talk.
Okay. As
he's releasing a pitch, I can hear him from the mound say, "Oh, that's a good pitch." But right there, he's probably thinking that's not a very good kick. It just went out of bounds.
Start talking to himself, maybe get that confidence back up after that kick.
Get the call from our officials.
Kick out of
I'm not sure he had the microphone on, but tell you what, we've got a quality refereeing crew today, don't we, Marion?
Yes, we do, and I'll name them right now. First, our referee is Bruce Mayer. Our head linesman is Craig Mahler. Bruce Mahler and Craig Mahler. Our line judge is Rob Blaylock. Back judge is David Nash. The center judge is Dalen Merix, and our umpire is Kyle Stoughton.
And I'll tell you, with head referee Bruce Mahler, he's got some accolades. He is the director of development for all OHSA football officials. Recently retired after 39 years as the associate director for capital and strategic projects at the Ohio State University Development of Recreational Sports. He also has experience as an NFL referee. Just a really good crew here tonight at Fulton Field. On first down, good run there by Isaiah Sweat.
Number 8, Joshua Moore.
He'll pick up about 6 on the carry out across the 40.
Yeah, I'm so glad to hear that. Bruce Mahler, again, these jobs here, especially with a referee and official that's with his decorated career and so his accolades, to be out here with these kids on Friday night, that says a lot. Yeah. And I just, we can't say enough about the officiating that's done. You know, sometimes the crowds can get a little unruly with some of the calls.
Really?
But just being out here and giving these kids an experience is fantastic.
2nd and 6, Burke takes down the high snap and hands it off right away, and it's going to go for a first down. Jameer Gordon on the carry for the first.
Jameer Gordon, great burst into the hole that time. Again, he just hits it at a different level. Does such a nice job. And, you know, gives an added element to this Lancaster Golden Gales offense. Again, when you can line up in different formations, as he was in the shotgun there, just able to hand it to him and just give it to him right through. Nice job there.
Clock inside of 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Cruisers lead at 7-0 here in this OCC Buckeye battle. The linemen and the running back stayed in the huddle for a long time. The receivers were already out. It looked, just something looked off there. So Coach Schoonover going to call a timeout.
Wise to do so on that one. No need to take an additional 5 yards. It's early, and as we were saying, every single yard counts in a game like this one.
Checking the Week 5 slate of games around the area. Tonight we've got Bloom Carroll at Liberty Union. That one in the Mid-State League. Buckeye, Bloom Carroll at 3-1, Liberty Union at 2-2. Circleville is at Amanda Clear Creek. Dayton Dunbar at Harvest Prep. Sheridan is at John Glenn. Fairfield Union at Logan Elm. Byrne Union is at Miller. Federal Hockey at Millersport. Logan is at Newark. Canal Winchester at Pickerington Central. Pickerington North is at Thomas Worthington. And Tri-Valley is at New Lexington. One game tomorrow night, Fairfield Christian will take on Fisher Catholic right here at Fulton Field. So we'll check those scores throughout the night.
Good slate of games this week, Jared, but I think the one I'm most intrigued to see is that Canal Winchester Pick Central matchup. Pick Central 2-2 actually, and Canal 3-1. One of the better Canal teams that we've seen in a while. So that should be a really intriguing matchup, and it'll be huge for pole position, if you will, in the OCC Buckeye.
And also in Division I Region 3, which I'll talk about here in a minute.
That's right.
1st and 10 for the Gales. Burke out of the shotgun with running backs right beside him. He's going to hand it off to Gordon. Gordon hit right at the line of scrimmage, might have fallen forward for a yard. That Division I Region 3, I tell you what, here's the interesting thing. You look at number 1 and number 2. Grove City's at number 1. This Groveport team at number 2. When is the last time you could think of that you didn't see the Pickeringtons up at the top?
That's right, yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. That's the thing. I mean, there is so much parity has kind of taken over in the Division I Central Ohio teams. You know, Groveport Madison. You know, when they shocked kind of Gahanna that second week of the season, that was huge and kind of set the tone that who knows what's going to happen.
And how about Grove City 4-0?
Yeah. It's great to see.
100 minutes on the carry.
There's the second half of the Region 3. You see Lancaster there coming in at 14.
Yeah. How about Newark at number 11 at 3-1?
Yeah.
Again, now, not all 3-1s are created equal. They may not have the same strength of schedule as maybe a Groveport, but they're doing some really nice things.
Yes,
Coach Bill Franks has that program turned around. They're playing with confidence, and on any given night, you never know.
Yeah. 3rd down and 10 for the Gales. Burke out of the shotgun, and movement early. Looked like Gordon started to go in motion and realized he wasn't supposed to, so he reset.
Ball start against Lancaster.
So that will back him up to the 40-yard line. Make it 3rd down and 15. Caleb Santini will run the play in from the sideline.
Yeah, and the Gales, again, they feel a lot better about maybe 3rd and 7, 3rd and 9. Maybe not so good about 3rd and 15, but still the same. It is not a give up, essentially as it has been maybe in years past when they have these long yard situations.
Sweat goes in motion. Burke steps up. Good job by Burke to elude the pressure. He hits his man. That's Gordon down the near sideline. Gordon inside the 10 and is thrown down at the 5. What a play there by Brody Burke, first of all, to step up away from that pressure.
I was just going to say that again. That's a play that he perhaps doesn't make last year or even the year before. Again, there was a flag on the play. We'll see what that's about. But as we see the replay here, like you said, Jared, excellent pocket presence here. As he steps up in the pocket, Burke senses and then leaps in the air, able to find Gordon coming across on the dig route.
I tell you what, I don't know if he did it on purpose, but Gordon did a good job using the official as almost like a screen. Did you see that?
Yes,
right in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he did. I'm doubting that he meant to do that. Again, he probably just run it as the route was called, but sometimes you get lucky like that. He was able to get a nice break, some additional yards down inside the 5.
Yeah. That's the end of the first quarter, but I tell you what, the Gales on the move as we start the second.
And we'll take a minute here, Jared, to thank tonight's first half scoreboard sponsor, which is the Buckeye Automotive family. The Buckeye Honda, Nissan, and Toyota dealerships would like to wish all of the local athletes best of luck this season. Learn more at buckeyecars.com.
The Lancaster softball team being honored. They had a really, really good season this past spring. They went to the regional final, and they are being honored as the GPA award winner of all team sports here at Lancaster. Some smart girls and really good softball players as well.
Yeah, I love to see that. Again, great athletes on the field and doing what they need to do off the field in the classroom. as a collective, you know, not just one or two outliers, you know, as the entire team being honored like that. It's just great to see.
You know, you said that there was a penalty flag. I don't know if they called one when it looked like there could have been a horse collar on that tackle.
They may have picked it up. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it looks like the ball spotted right where he went out of bounds at the 5. This time he turns to the right. That would look very similar to the play earlier that Groveport had, where the quarterback turns to the right, running back's on the left.
And that it's so important to have those plays down. Just look here at the replay. And again, this can kill a momentum on a drive. Again, I don't know who's wrong in that. It looks like the
I'm going
offensive
to guess
line.
that that's on the running back, because did you see the pulling guard?
Yes.
Everybody's going to the right.
Right. Yeah, the blocking was definitely set up to go to the right. So I'm not sure what happened there, but unfortunately for Lancaster, that is a huge loss. Puts them outside the 10-yard line, and they still got 2nd and goal.
6-yard loss on that last play. Burke with Gordon behind him. Everybody's bunched in tight. Here is Gordon. Gordon leaps over somebody to get across the 10-yard line. A couple yards shy of the original line of scrimmage.
Number 8, Josh Wilmore.
Third down and goal at the 7.
Yeah, and this is going to be a huge down here for Groveport Madison. Are they going to be able to make a stop here? And then for Lancaster, you know, depending on what happens on this play, is this 4-down territory?
Yeah.
Is it something where you just go ahead and try to go for it? You get down this close. Again, points are a premium in this game, but when you're down this close, you feel like you want to come away with 6 and not 3.
Joshua Moore made the stop for Groveport. He and his twin brother, Jeremiah, both have multiple Division I offers.
Right, and they're just equally talented basketball players, if not more so, because of their size and athletic ability.
Here's Sweat this time getting the carry. He'll get across the 5-yard line up near the 4. It'll bring up a 4th and goal.
And that play call tells me that it may be 4th down territory for the Gales.
Cody McCoy trots on. Ethan Graham, their kicker, comes onto the field, so they may try a short field goal here.
Nothing wrong with that. Again, you take the points. Again, with them being at a premium, you know, you get down this close. You don't want to come away empty-handed. As nice as it would be to come away with a touchdown, you don't want to be empty-handed.
Burke will do the holding. It will officially be a 21-yard field goal attempt for Graham. It is up, and I think it was just wide to the right, just a smidge.
Wow.
Graham's kick is no good. Groveport will take over.
Yeah, I'd like
to
to
see
replay.
this
That was
replay.
close.
I thought it was good.
high.
Yeah.
I know that. That's a good look at it right there, too.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Oh, it sure did, yeah. Just sailed right.
Yep, you're right.
Kind of tough for us to see from the booth, but that is a great camera
shot
angle from behind.
I believe that shot from Tom Russo.
I think it was, yeah.
Really good job. So the Cruisers defense holds. They will now have the ball where it was spotted for the field goal attempt. No, they moved it up to the 20, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Okay, so high school rules moves it to the 20 after a missed field goal. Here's King on the carry. And he'll get out near the 25-yard line.
Jared, when you watch a lot of high school, college, and pro, it's hard to remember which rules go with what.
Yeah.
I have that trouble.
The
quite a bit,
dynamic
actually.
kick.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad we don't have that in high school football yet.
Yeah, it is strange how many different rules, and not just football, but you know, all the sports.
Sure,
Baseball, basketball.
For sure.
I'm glad in high school baseball we don't use the pizza boxes for bases like they do in Major League.
Yeah.
2nd and 6 at the 24 for the Cruisers. Bowden looking to pass. He has pressure. Going to tuck it and run. Bowden across the 25. Still on his feet across the 35. And they'll say he stepped out of bounds right there at the 35-yard line.
What good feet. Athleticism out of bounds there. Oh, what a nice job. A lot of quarterbacks would be sacked here. He does a nice job keeping those up, but he immediately feels the pressure. Nice job there by Jackson Reynolds to put the pressure on him, but Bowden just escapes out the right side. There's nobody there. He's able to run for a first down. Again, an embarrassment of riches sometimes when you look at this Groveport team, to have an athlete like Bowden at quarterback and then have everyone else that they have out wide. You've got King in the backfield. Oh, and by the way, you trot on Joyce on special occasions. So just incredible.
1st and 10 at the 35. Here's King across the 35. Going to be wrapped up after a short gain. whole host of Gales on the stop. And
Tackle by Lancaster's 51.
Lancaster, I think that was, yeah, Jackson Reynolds came away with the football. He's like, look, I've got it.
Yeah.
2nd down and 8 after that stop. Clock rolling down, 8:26 to play here in this first half. Beautiful night for high school football. Players would tell you it's a little bit warm, though.
Yeah, it is.
Hard to
Being week
believe.
5 and still having high 80s at game time is something else,
Yeah,
though.
on September 20th. King
Yeah.
trying to get to the outside. Really good pursuit by the Gales. Leading the way, number 8, Kelton Fisher.
Tackle by number 8, Kelton Fisher.
I believe he came all the way from the left side.
Yeah, I think
to
from
make
the
that
backside
tackle on
safety
his- yeah.
position. So excellent job of pursuit there by the entire Gales defense. They're just able to stretch out that play. King is as quick and fast as they come, but the ability to stretch him out, get him to the sideline for a minimal gain is something that they've really got to be happy about.
Big 3rd down for the Gales defense right here. 3rd down and 2. Bowden once again with King behind him. Thought maybe we'd see Joyce. Bowden to pass. It's tipped at the line of scrimmage, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
Another great play, Cody McCoy. That's the 2nd pass deflection he's had at the line of scrimmage, and those are huge. You know, to be able to, you know, because that play looked open as they had the receiver coming across the middle. Bowden liked what he saw there, but able to get a big paw up there is Cody McCoy and forcing a 4th down.
Yeah, 2nd time tonight we've seen McCoy swat a pass down. So the Cruisers, they're going to keep their offense on the field here.
Yeah, again, Jalen Joyce coming on
Yeah.
the field.
Number
on a
21.
4th and short, and we've already seen him get one. It was a little shorter yards than this one. This is 4th and 2, but nevertheless, he's lined up deep. And I think Keyshawn Calhoun actually might be at the
I
fullback
think you're
position
right.
in front of him.
You're right. Yeah, number 97. That's Keyshawn Calhoun, who's already committed to Indiana to play defense, but he's lined up at fullback. And I think, was it Lancaster called that timeout?
Groveport.
Groveport calls a timeout.
Yeah, it's like they want to take a little bit of extra time to think about it.
Yeah.
So.
Tonight's sports medicine coverage is provided by Fairfield
So
Healthcare
big play coming up here for
Orthopedics.
both teams. If Lancaster
Sports
can get
medicine team
a
at
stop,
understands that every
got to think that they've
sport-related injury is unique.
will take some momentum.
Personalized care
Had a
can
nice
get you
drive
or
that just
your
stalled out,
athlete back
missed a
in
field goal. But their defense has really played well tonight.
Yeah, it's played well tonight. Again, they played well pretty much the entire season. There's been some instances where they've kind of had these lapses, but when they kind of put their mind to it and focus on what they're doing, they're solid at every position, particularly at the linebacker position. They've got great sides up front in the trenches. Their linebackers pursue really well, and the guys in the secondary just play really disciplined. You know, you don't see a whole lot of deep passes, them getting beat, or very rarely. We saw the play by Bowden earlier where he kind of snuck out the backside, but that doesn't happen often. And when they play solid, they play together. They're a really tough team to move the ball on.
So here we go, 4th down and 2. It is Calhoun as well as Jalen Joyce in the backfield.
Looked like Lancaster might have jumped there.
Bowden steps out from under the center. Now we'll go back. And here's Joyce. Joyce with the 1st down and more. All the way out across midfield to the 45-yard line. That's a 12-yard gain for the big guy.
Wow, yeah.
And he's not slow.
Yeah, and again, he did a nice job of letting this one develop. This is a great play call. Again, not so much a quick hitter. Letting the line, giving a chance for the guard to pull there. And Joyce just picks his spot.
Once
he gets ahead of
somehow
speed.
he just snuck right through there, didn't he?
Yeah, he really did. Again, he didn't get touched a lot, but again, that's a great job by the offensive line. Again, the backside guard pulling on that play did a nice job of clearing the way.
6 foot 260.
Yeah, and it's something when you've got an athlete like Keyshawn Calhoun
Oh,
on
yeah.
your team, already committed to Indiana, yet the coach is saying Jalen Joyce is perhaps the best player in the region.
Baker Bowden deep down the right side. It's caught inside the 10, and he dropped it as he went to the ground. I believe was that intended for, was that King? 15?
I don't think it was King. We'll see here on the replay here.
What
He
a
couldn't
pass,
pick
though.
the better spot exactly. Baker Bowden just puts it right on target. It looks like it's
That's Jaquan Ingram.
okay.
Yeah, just when he hit the ground, I think, when he lost it.
Yeah. Yeah, Ingram had it, just didn't wasn't able to take it to the ground.
Yep.
But again, nice to see the Cruisers take a shot there down the field with that speed.
Bowden rolling out. He has pressure. Fires on the run. Almost intercepted. Knocked down for the Lancaster Gales. Number 14 for the Gales. That's Landon Knock, almost coming away with the interception.
Yeah, Knock again. Knock and McCoy making plays all around the field tonight. Again, it does a nice job there, understanding, whatever, coverage he had in his zone, he doesn't have a man in his zone. So he's able to slough off, get into the passing lane by reading the quarterback's eyes there. Just follow him, let him take you to the ball. Does a nice job of breaking that one up.
3rd down and 10 upcoming for the Cruisers. Hustling onto the field for the Gales is Aaron Banna. He'll get on that defensive line. This time, Jalen Joyce is lined up as the fullback, the blocking back, and Lancaster wants to call a timeout. They had King behind Joyce. They'll call a timeout here on 3rd down and 10. 6:32 to play in the first half. Check some scores from other games going on around the area tonight. No score listed. Bern Union at Miller. It is Circleville leading Amanda Clear Creek 6-0 in the second quarter. Federal Hocking leads Millersport 6-0 in the second quarter. We've got Logan Elm leading Fairfield Union 7-0. That's down at Logan Elm. How about the turnaround that Fairfield Union has had after that first week of the season? They didn't look very good against New Lex, but last week coming away with a huge win in the Mid-State League Buckeye against Hamilton Township.
Yeah, a testament to their program and what they've been able to do. Again, you don't stand your heads when you kind of get smacked in the face. The first week of the season, you understand there's a lot of games to be played, and this isn't 20, 30 years ago. Yep. One loss does not dictate your season. If you're able to turn it around, can make some noise, and get into the playoffs, obviously, these days.
They're going to have a tough battle tonight. Logan Elm's a good football team. One other score, Bloom Carroll all over Liberty Union, 35-0 in the first quarter. Bowden back to pass. Hit as he throws. It's going to be a short throw because of the hit, and it's going to fall incomplete. Was that Kevin Monahan on the hit?
I believe it was.
Number 7?
You see here on the replay. Offensive line does a pretty good job for the most part. Yeah,
coming through right.
I think that may
Two
have been
guys
number
got
28.
him.
Yeah,
Andrew
20. Kraft did a nice job. They actually took him to the ground initially, but he stayed with the play, didn't give up on it, able to get back up and cause some additional pressure to force that incompletion.
White to punt with Whitlatch standing at his 14-yard line to receive for the Gales. Another good stop by the Gales defense. End over end line drive kick. It's returnable, but he lost it. He was able to recover it and get to the 19-yard line.
On the return.
Boy, he was fortunate there that it bounced right back up to him.
As fortunate bounces go. That's one that the Gales are thankful because that would have been huge. Again, those turnovers, particularly on your own side of the field, that can be very, very difficult. So Lancaster certainly dodged a bullet on that one.
Yep. So the Gales go on offense, 1st and 10 at their own 19 with 6:17 to play in the first half. They trail at 7-0 in this OCC Buckeye battle. Looks like it's a American night, or they say Merca night.
Merca.
Down on the in the Gale student section, all decked out in their red, white, and blue. My daughter Brooklyn's somewhere in that student section. Here's a handoff right up the middle for the Gales, and that's going nowhere. In fact, it's going backwards, making the stop. Like number 20. That's Conwell for the Cruisers. Jacob Conwell. Here it is.
Here on the replay.
He just snuck right through there.
Yep, he did, and looked like
Also,
had some help with from Keyshawn Calhoun,
you're right,
making another play, coming from the backside and getting the back to be wrapped around.
The patriotic student section tonight. The way they do it here at Lancaster is the seniors get the front, and then they work their way up all the way to the freshmen who get the very top
of the
bleachers.
As it should be.
Gordon on the carry.
Gordon on the carry. It's going nowhere again. They'll get up, actually give him to the 20. Bring up a 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, Conwell, another nice play there, getting in the backfield. Again, these linebackers doing a nice job of recognizing run and just attacking downhill immediately. If Lancaster, they would be wise to perhaps kind of exploit that, maybe try, some sort of play action waggle pass on the backside, particularly with Cam Griffin.
That's what I was getting ready to say. I'd like to see them get him involved a little more.
Right, yeah, especially, him on a drag route across the middle could be interesting.
Burke looking to pass, has pressure, it's tipped, and it's going to fall incomplete. But Cam Griffith is 6'5", 245 at that tight end. He's getting some college looks
as
to
well.
Play tight end, and I tell you what, if they could get him the football, he could be a weapon.
Yeah.
And in fact, Groveport Madison is prepared for him as well.
Yeah, as well, he should be getting looks. He's really a top-notch tight end, as talented as you're going to see at that position. And, in this league, is filled with a lot of talented players. He had a play last week, Jared, where he just reached up, his touchdown that he scored, just reached up over the defender. He was completely covered, and kudos to Burke. He just kind of threw it up there and let him make a play and just kind of took it over his back, almost like a basketball rebound. So he's got some incredible big play ability.
Graham to punt. He'll get the punt away from his own 9-yard line. Fair catch will be called for and taken at the 47-yard line by number 17 of Groveport. That's Kenneth Johnson, Jr. So Groveport back on offense. Coach Westcamp would really like to have another score here. They lead at 7-0, 4:43 to play in the first half.
Yeah, and they've got pretty good field position here, just on their side of the 50. There can be some opportunities here. We've seen them take one big shot down the field, got a lot of speed out wide. They were unsuccessful, wasn't able to pull that one in. But I wouldn't be surprised to see them go back to the well on that one again. I think their advantages out wide versus the Lancaster secondary, they could exploit that. We'll see if they do.
King stands behind Bowden. Bowden has 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. It'll be King taking the handoff, bouncing it to the outside. Here goes King across the 40, still on his feet to the 30. And Rayshad King all the way down to the 20-yard line for Groveport.
King on the carry, tackle by Lancaster.
Saw every bit of it on that one, Jared. He was able to bounce it incredibly quickly and then break some tackles at the end. Nice job there by King. A quick hitter there, didn't waste any time.
And we got a chance to see his speed there, too. Once he got to the outside, he turned on a new gear.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll again see here on the replay. The nice vision there. I think that, that's an intended run. I don't think that's a called bounce. He just looks and sees that it's clogged and has the vision to bounce it outside immediately, does it so quickly, and is able to make a couple additional defenders miss in the secondary, picks up another 10, 15 yards.
Yeah, he drags guys
and
with
drags
him.
guys as well.
Bowden back to pass to the corner of the end zone, going up high for it, and it's caught in the end zone for the touchdown. Wow, what a catch. Was that Ingram?
I believe that was Ingram again.
Jeremiah Moore goes up high for it. Let's check the replay here. The Dagger Law replay. Wow, what a catch. This went right up over top of the defender.
We talked about it, Jerry. These guys go 6'4". You've got 4 receivers that go 6'4", and all of them can jump.
Poor Ryder Smith at 5'8" is out there trying to defend him.
Yeah.
Did everything he could. Extra point attempt is up, and it is good. And the Cruisers on top 14-0 with 3:55 to play in the first half.
Yeah, and because Bowden is such a precise passer, it makes it even tougher when you have those receivers. And that's the one that we saw earlier that was dropped. That's actually happened a few times.
Yeah.
Not to pick on the Groveport receivers there, but he is really puts the ball on the money, puts it in a place where only his receivers can get it. He trusts their athletic ability to go up and get it. So that is something. Again, you don't see them do it every time. They're still a run-first team at heart, but when they have the ability to take a shot downfield and hit the big play, they have more than enough weapons to get that done.
Gusto Gale is in the house tonight. That's got to be a hot Gusto.
Yes. I would not want to be under. Although in a lot of those costumes now, they actually have like cooling systems built inside of them. So that's at least somewhat helpful on a night like this.
Jack Lutz on to kickoff for the Cruisers from his own 40-yard line. Back deep, a trio of guys for the Gales. Right in the middle is Whitlatch, Andrew Whitlatch. Whitlatch will take it at the 10-yard line. Andrew across the 20, 25, still on his feet, bounces it outside to the 30. Whitlatch all the way out to the 35-yard line. Good return by the junior Andrew Whitlatch.
That's nice job by Whitlatch there, able to have a nice return there, get some momentum there for the Gales. They're going to need that. I think on this drive here, if you're Lancaster,
35-yard line.
you don't want to panic, okay?
Right.
You're down by 2 scores. I'm sure that Coach Schoonover came in with a game plan. You don't want to need to get outside of that at this particular point. A lot of football still left to play. Still play within yourself. See if you can have a methodical drive. 3:46 left to go before the half. See if you can get in and score.
See what they decide to do. If they go to the air, Santini is their leading receiver. He's got 9 receptions, 135 yards. But we mentioned Cam Griffith out of the tight end spot with 7 catches, 94 yards. But Jameer Gordon out of the backfield has some hands too. He can catch the football as well. Wow. That hole closed in a hurry, leading the way.
And it looked almost like
Conwell,
it looked like a replay of the other two where it's kind of like Keyshawn Calhoun sets him up, and then Conwell just comes and finishes him off. You'll see here as soon as he gets home, there's Calhoun right there. Yep, getting him around the waist.
He is so hard to block.
He is. And then you've got Conwell again coming straight downhill to just clean it up.
Well, here's the thing. This is not a small offensive line for Lancaster.
No,
they're huge.
They're huge. But, again, the speed and athleticism on the defensive line for Groveport. And those guys, again, not only are, they're very quick, but they're also fundamentally sound. You kind of watch the way Calhoun and Joyce particularly, the way they use their hands at the defensive end spots makes them even tougher to block on top of their athleticism and their speed and good size as well. Oh, and there's Calhoun. Took off a little early there. He got a little excited.
I think Brody Burke is glad he saw the flag.
Well, and whether that's Burke or it's coming in from the sidelines there, it's good to keep these guys so they just can't tee off like that.
Yeah.
Especially when you got speed coming around the end. You got to keep them at bay. And a hard count's a good way to do that.
Encroachment against Groveport. 2nd and 5.
So tonight our official is using the stadium mic instead of the mic for us. We would just take the audio from the stadium, but it is not working, so I apologize for that, but pretty easy for us to tell what the calls are.
Especially when you see a guy coming untouched like that.
Yeah. 2nd and 6 here for the Gales out after the penalty. Burke back to pass, steps up, and going to be wrapped up. Thought he was going to be able to get away from 92. That's Marshawn Johnson. But Johnson was able to wrap him up. Looked like right at the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Johnson did a nice job, but that place starts with Jalen Joyce, who's able to get around the end quickly, which forces Burke to step up. Again, we saw him step up earlier and make a nice completion, but that time Johnson was sitting right in his face when he tried to step up in the pocket.
Groveport's going to call timeout here on this 3rd down. They want to get the ball back.
And we'll take this second here, Jared, to let you know that as a reminder, you can find live and past games on our YouTube channel. Just search for CLN, your hometown connection, on YouTube to find games and other local programming. While you're there, make sure to click and subscribe so you won't miss any action.
Millersport leads Federal Hocking. They're on the board 8-6 in the 2nd quarter. Circleville is out to a 19-0 lead over Amanda Clear Creek in the 2nd quarter. Logan Elm still with that 7-0 lead on Fairfield Union, and Bloom Carroll has boosted their lead to 42-0 over Liberty Union. Right here at Fulton Field, 14-0 Groveport leads the Gales with a 3rd and 7 for Lancaster. 2:34 to play in the first half. Burke with nobody in the backfield with him. He's out of the shotgun. Plenty of receivers out there to choose from. Looking. Fires one left side. It's caught for a 1st down. On the reception, was that Jack Pompey? I think it was.
Yeah, number 16, Jack Pompey did a nice job running a route there. Just finds the sticks and sits right down. And again, when you got 5 in the route like that, Jared, it's hard for a zone defense to have everybody covered in every angle. Kudos there to Brody Burke, was just able to find the open man in the zone there.
1st and 10 Gales near the 50-yard line. Burke again, alone in the backfield. And again, I believe is that Pompey again?
Believe it was.
I think so.
First pass complete to Jack Pompey.
Jack Pompey on the year, 4 receptions, 52 yards. He's already got 2 tonight on the consecutive plays.
And a nice job again. Burke did a nice job of quick release there, recognizing the pressure early, and just got it out to his receiver quick. Pompey does a nice job.
Looked like some movement early, no flag. Burke on the run. That would have been an outstanding catch had Santini been able to haul it in.
Yeah, and that's just great coverage there by
Yes,
Joshua Moore. You know, Santini did a nice job of running that route, and Burke put it in a spectacular spot, low and away.
Yep.
But the coverage there by Moore was just so great, unable to complete it.
Well, while on the run, too. I mean, he's rolling out to his right.
And that's what I say again. Burke he did a nice job last year.
Yeah.
His improvement from last year to this year has really been, you know, nothing short of spectacular.
Yeah,
He's
I
done
agree.
a really nice job, you know, again, giving another dimension to this Lancaster offense.
3rd down and 4 for the Gales. At the Groveport 46-yard line, minute 34 to play in the first half. The give going to be to Isaiah Sweat, and that one is snuffed out for a loss.
Jared, that's as good as a play you're going to see from the defensive end position, Jalen Joyce. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I was getting ready to say that was the perfect play call to have this draw, and they had it there. Joyce, you'll see him come in late, recognizes it at the last minute, and just sticks that right hand out there, boom.
Yep.
And he's down. Again, he doesn't have to put it, he's so strong from that position. He doesn't have to have his whole weight behind the tackle. He just sticks it right on out there, gets it around Gordon, and he's not going anywhere. And the play's dead in the water.
With his timeout on the field and a minute 29 to go in the first half, we can tell you that coming up at halftime, we'll have the halftime band show. You'll see the Lancaster Band of Gold. It'll be brought to you by the Frank E. Smith Funeral Home, Crematory and Monuments, family owned and operated since 1889. Check them out at funeralhome.com. The Frank E. Smith Funeral Home, respect for tradition, regard for change. Also brought to you by Fairfield Federal. When it comes to our customers and our community, we go above and beyond to help. Personal or business banking, whatever you need, we take it seriously because we know you do too. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan specializes in banking that revolves around you. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. The Gales will punt, try to pin him back deep on 4th down and 6. End over end punt, be taken at the 12-yard line, and he fumbles it. It's loose on the field, and Groveport fortunate to get on that one. Boy, if the Gales could have got it right there inside the 20, that would have been really big for them.
That would have been huge. That would have been huge. We'll see here again on the replay. And it's a nice punt.
Yes, it is.
Just kind of shoots through the wickets there.
Johnny on the spot. Who's that was able to come in and get it? Was that King?
Hard to see. I think it might have been Ronye Wilson, actually.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
So Groveport will have a minute 19 to work with. And about 81 yards if they want to score a touchdown. They do have some kickers, though, with some big legs. Baker hands it off to King. King trying to get to the outside across the 20. And going to be wrapped up at the 25. But a 6-yard gain on the play.
We'll see if
Xavier
Groveport
Havlicek makes a stop for the Gales.
Yeah, and here, Cruiser's going to go hurry up here.
Bowden looking to pass, has pressure. A flag comes in. Bowden directing some traffic on the run. Gets away from Knock and heaves one down the field. Wow. Overthrew his intended receiver while he's on the run. I think this one's going to come back, though.
That went, 40 yards in the air on the run?
Yeah.
Going out of bounds with pressure.
Baker Bowden, 6 foot, 180-pound sophomore. See what the call is here. In the area of holding.
So it is.
They're talking to Coach Schoonover to see what he wants to do here. It's like if he declines it, it would be 3rd down and 4. See the replay. See if we can pick up a hold. Yeah, right. I don't know. Did he push him down or did he drag him down? 54 for Groveport.
Well, I thought it might have come a little later in the play.
Yeah, the flag did come in later, didn't it?
Yeah, so I don't know if it would have been that one because it looks like he kind of lets him go.
Yeah.
Holding against Lancaster, or excuse me, against Groveport line.
So the Gales will decline it.
I think it may have been in the interior
Illegal forward pass.
on the second
Against
effort.
Groveport. Loss of down.
Illegal
Will be
forward
third
pass.
down.
He must have been across the line of scrimmage
Oh,
when he let loose of that one.
wow.
I didn't realize that.
I didn't either. I was just so impressed he threw it so far.
Yeah. So they decline the hold. They take the illegal forward pass.
for the loss of
It
down.
loses a down,
We'll
plus
see
backs
here
him
on
up
the
5.
replay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's
Huh.
passed the line by a couple yards there, actually.
Yeah. So third down. Groveport does not have any more timeouts. Lancaster does have one. So if they can get a stop here,
Sure.
they may have decent field position out of a punt.
Right.
Bowden under center. Gives it to King. King going to be wrapped up by Cody McCoy. Somehow he gets away from him. King down the near
it's a
sideline.
block
He's
here.
got his quarterback as his lead blocker. King to the 40. Inside the 40 to the 30. It's a foot race to the end zone. Rayshad King. Touchdown. Wow.
Rashid
Holy
King
cow.
with the score.
What a run by Rayshad King. And how about Baker Bowden going out and being the lead blocker for him?
The block that sprung him there, but as
Watch this.
athletic a play as you're going to see, this is incredible.
How did he get away from Cody
McCoy
McCoy?
has him dead to rights. Actually has him wrapped up again, but has him up high in his
Yeah,
shoulder pads,
yep.
and no one stops his legs, and his legs just keep moving. We know that about Rashard King.
There's Bowden, too, blocking for
That's a
him.
great shot there, running down the sideline. And Bowden gets just enough. Doesn't
Yep.
have to be a kill shot.
Exactly.
Just gets just enough of him to distract him, and King's a good enough ball carrier to know to cut that back and get in the end zone. Wow,
The extra
what
point.
a play.
Yeah.
Groveport 21,
Extra point is
Lancaster
good.
0.
And just like that, Groveport up 21-0.
And that's a backbreaker. Coming off
Yes,
that
it
play
is.
where, you had the illegal forward pass, you lose it down, they've got him backed up deep. I'm pretty sure that the Cruisers would have been happy to just take a minimal gain there
Right.
and make Lancaster use their last time out.
I
Instead, they get a 70-something yard run for a touchdown. Now they're up 3 scores, and they've completely turned this game around.
Rayshad King was a 1,000-yard rusher last year. But how about this? He had, as a team, Groveport had 547 rushing yards against Newark. And King is a big reason why.
Yeah, King with 214 yards, but get this, on 10 carries.
Gee.
10 carries.
That's
I don't
unfair.
even know what the yards per carry average is on that one, but that is really, really impressive.
And the crowd on the near side has kind of gone silent here for the Gales after that big play by the Cruisers. Jack Lutz to kick it off. Booming kick into the end zone for a touchback.
Touchback.
How about that? They've got a Lutz kicks off. They have another guy that kicks their field goals, and another guy punts.
Right.
It's a good luxury.
And again, a lot of teams, are lucky to have one guy who punts and kicks.
Yeah.
They've got 3 to do, 3 different jobs, and
Yeah.
all 3 of them are good.
Right.
Actually, so it's really, I think they had an injury earlier in the season to their kicking Christian Gutierrez Sanchez. I think they gave the other kicker an opportunity to really shine.
Right.
But again, when you've got, you're so deep, I think is the main goal or the main thing with this Groveport
Yep.
team is just depth at every position, even in the kicking game.
Looks like the Gales are just going to kneel on it and let the time run out. They will get the ball to start the second half. So they're not going to try anything crazy here, even though they do have a timeout. So they kneel on it. The clock will run out here in the first half, and the Groveport Madison Cruisers will go to the locker room with a 21-0 lead. Want to invite you to stick around. Coming up, we'll have the halftime band show brought to you by Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Fairfield Federal. You're going to want to stick around and see the Lancaster Band of Gold on the high school football game of the week. Stay with us.
Interface Video presents the Buffalo Wild Wings High School Game of the Week. Brought to you by Dagger Long, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield Federal, Buckeye Toyota, Fairfield Medical Center, Buckeye Lake Marina, Personal Touch Party Rentals, Fairfield DD, North Body Shop, Fairfield County Adam H., The Carriage Company, the Savings Bank, Sheridan Funeral Home, and ExploreHawkingHills.com.
Welcome to the high school football game of the week. I'm Jaron Stewart alongside Tim Shoemaker. Tonight, we've got a great one for you. The Bloom Carroll Bulldogs.
Yeah, it was a great week of practice. Even in the rain and the weather, we had a great week of practice.
Schneider, lots of running room to midfield. He's gone. Ryan Schneider down the near sideline for a touchdown for the Aces.
We have a hold on the offense, number 20. That penalty will be declined. They'll bring up fourth down.
We're going to give you this game ball here because you're a Tiberios fan of the game. And thanks for being here, Jacob.
Thank you.
The Polar Bears are your OAC tournament champions. First time since 2009. What an exciting finish for the Ohio Northern Polar Bears.
Be very proud of this trophy because you've earned it.
$7. 50-50 ticket is a red ticket. Number 8650715. Red ticket. 8650715. 8650715. If you have that ticket, please bring it to the press box. Winner gets $207.
Interface Video presents the Buffalo Wild Wings High School Game of the Week. Brought to you by Dagger Long, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield Federal, Buckeye Toyota, Fairfield Medical Center, Buckeye Lake Marina, Personal Touch Party Rentals, Fairfield DD, North Body Shop, Fairfield County Adam H., The Carriage Company, The Savings Bank, Sheridan Funeral Home, and ExploreHawkingHills.com.
Welcome back to Fulton Field. Your halftime score: Groveport leads Lancaster 21-0 in this OCC Buckeye matchup. And Marion, I tell you, that was a first half that, Lancaster had some really, really good moments, especially defensively. They had some good stuff offensively as well, but they turned the football over. But that last long touchdown by King, man, that was just an impressive run to put them up by 3 scores.
Yeah, it was a backbreaker, Jared. I think when you think of how this game has gone for Lancaster, it's really come down to 3 plays. The run by King that you just talked about, the run where they missed the assignment where Bowden ran around untouched and he scored the first touchdown of the game. And then that one that I think will probably haunt them just as much is when they were inside the 10-yard line at the 5 and they had that miscommunication, the busted play. They lost about 7 yards, really killed that momentum. Then they missed the field goal. So, again, it's the little things when you're playing a team as talented as Groveport. If you can't capitalize on those, again, because you said the defense has played pretty well, but it does not take much. And, again, you allow them to have those big plays, and if you don't capitalize when you have those chances, it can get away from you pretty quickly.
Obviously, still a whole half to play. So from a coaching standpoint, you go into the locker room after a devastating end to the half. What are you telling your team?
I think you just tell your team it's 0-0, and let's just focus on what we do well and try to do everything right. And you say, forget about the score. We're just going to play our game. We're going to see how things go. You get a couple stops here. You're able to make, put a couple points on the board and see what happens in the second half. But you just kind of let loose and play. And again, as I said before, I think Lancaster really gets itself in trouble when they try to do too much and they play outside of themselves. I think that's really what hurt them last week against Hayes Valley. As long as they can continue to play on schedule, not allow those big mistakes, drive killers, and big plays by Groveport, then maybe they can get back in this game in the second half.
Got to have that win every play, win every series mindset here in this second half. They will get the ball to start the second half. Lutz's kickoff takes him back to the end zone. It'll be brought out from the goal line by Whitlatch. Whitlatch all the way out to the 30. Almost broke it, but somebody got his feet and tripped him up at the 30-yard line. Whitlatch has been a really nice surprise for them in the return game.
Yeah, he really has. He's had a couple that he's almost broke and he's had some nice plays. But, that it's really a good opportunity to, have some positive momentum. You're looking for anything if you're the Gales at this point, and that was a nice return to get them out to the 30-yard line.
Here's the Dagger Law replay of that return. You'll see him just get tripped up right there.
Yeah.
Man, if he could have got through that, you never know.
Yeah, does a great job of going north and south. I've noticed that, and his doesn't do a lot of wiggle, spots the hole and goes straight at it.
Burke will hand it off. This is Gordon. Gordon over the right tackle. Gets out to the 35. They'll take 5 yards on first down.
Gordon on the carry.
Yeah, and again, those are the plays that you want, particularly against this Groveport defense. Their front four is so good. But, just the ability to run right at it. And, again, we talked about this Lancaster offensive line. They've got great size. So I think when they're able to just go straight ahead, maybe not so much east to west, but north and south, regardless of what it is for the backs, I think it's better for the offensive line.
2nd down and 5 at their own 35. First man through. That's 21. Xavier Havlicek on the carry. 31, check that, 31. Colin Thomas on the carry. Brings up a 3rd down and looks like 2. You need to get to the 40-yard line.
Right, and if you're the Gales, this is what you want, right? This is, really reversion back to kind of the old Lancaster football.
Yeah.
The offensive side of the ball, the wing T, lineup, go straight ahead. Again, it's nice to have those other plays in your back pocket, the different formations, shotgun, but when you can line up and go straight at them, that's to your advantage as well.
Santini split out wide to the top of the screen. We have a flag coming in. False start on Lancaster.
False start against Lancaster.
Boy, that's
a tough
again,
one.
just a backbreaker.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Again, it's so important for them to have those 3rd and shorts.
Yeah.
And when they get those you get a 5-yard penalty there. 3rd and 2 now becomes 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8.
Yeah.
Makes it that much more difficult. Again, when you had some momentum, again, just going forward straight ahead in the run game.
So we'll see what they do here. Again, Santini and Whitlatch will split out to the left. Burke with Gordon behind him. Burke already on the move, fires over the middle. It's caught by Whitlatch at the 48-yard line, dives ahead to midfield. Really good catch by Andrew Whitlatch.
Good catch and a good spot also.
Good pass, yeah.
Good spot by Burke, able to just put it right behind him. Again, this is no easy task trying to get open on these defensive backs. We'll watch it again here on the replay. Straight drop back here by Burke, does a nice job. Steps up in the pocket, delivers a nice throw. As you can see, they're right there on the backside with the defender on the front. Whitlatch does a nice job of cradling the ball, keeps it away from the defender as he goes to the ground. Huge first down by
Great
Lancaster.
job by both those guys, Burke and Whitlatch. 1st and 10 at the 50 for the Gales. Somebody moved early. They're going to call it on Groveport or on Lancaster. I think they will get Groveport.
Encroachment.
Again, over on that far defensive end.
Yeah, it was Keyshawn Calhoun again.
Just trying to time it up.
Right, yeah. And I think if you're Calhoun there, sometimes you just get anxious because you haven't had a sack yet. You want to make an imprint on this game, and you think you can get to the quarterback. You feel good about it, so just having to hang in there until you see the ball snap sometimes can be a little difficult.
See that 97 coming out of that defensive end. Reminds me of the Bosas.
Oh, yeah.
1st and 5 for the Gales. Burke passes out to Santini. Santini across the 45, down near the 40. Going to be shy of the first down by about a yard.
I like it. Again, a nice job of screen game on the perimeter. Burke does a nice job of recognizing the corners are a little off there. Just get it out to him immediately. Nice job also blocking on the outside as well. Yep.
So 2nd down and 1 upcoming for Lancaster. Jack Pompey runs the play in from the sideline. Still haven't seen Cam Griffith targeted yet. They've done a nice job of covering him.
Yeah, and on that completion of Whitlatch, I thought Griffin was open, but you can't knock the completion there.
Here's a pass again, this time caught by Whitlatch, and Whitlatch hauls that one in and brings it all the way down near the 20. Really good pass and catch, and a good run after the catch.
Yeah, it looks like they've got a little bit of connection going here, Jared. It's that that combination of just that timing that has to be done with the receiver and the quarterback. He knew exactly where to throw it, led him perfectly, and then Whitlatch makes a man miss at the end of the play and gets a couple extra as well.
1st and 10 Gales. This is a drive that they desperately need to come away with points.
Yeah.
7 preferably.
Right, great to establish some momentum coming right out of halftime.
Thomas lines up behind Burke. Thomas will get the carry. And up across the 20 to about the 17-yard line.
Thomas on the carry.
That's a good carry on 1st down.
That's
a sophomore.
That's a great run, and probably even better play call again, because you think of how, kind of setting them up perimeter, and then on the inside, the last two, the quick screen got a big chunk of yardage, and then that pass over to Whitlatch, another chunk there. So as now they're thinking about him on the perimeter, you send it up the middle and get a nice 5-yard gainer there.
Santini and Whitlatch come to the right side this time. Then they'll reset Cam Griffith over here to the right, as well as Alex Cade. It's going to be a carry by Jameer Gordon. Gordon gets down near the 10. That's going to be close to another 1st down for the Gales. And they do have it.
Number 12, Dunlap.
And that's Gordon's first carry of the half. Again, the fact that that's probably their best offensive weapon.
Yep.
The first time that he touches the ball on a drive that they've had thus far, they've been able to move it like that. Says a lot for Lancaster. Done a nice job of just, keeping the ball in a lot of different players' hands and keeping the Groveport defense guessing.
So 1st and 10, they can get a 1st down at the, looks like the 2-yard line. Burke again out of the shotgun, gives to Gordon. Gordon across the 10, the 5. Gordon to the end zone, touchdown Gales. Good job of blocking there by that offensive line for the Golden Gales.
Yeah, Gordon did a nice job of setting up those blocks as well. Showed good patience. We'll see again here on the replay.
They had a pulling guard and a pulling tackle.
Yeah, they've got 2 offensive linemen, and he does a nice job of letting them get out front there. That's number 74, Connor Christopher.
Yeah.
He does a nice job of leaning him in the end zone.
Christopher and Adley Carnes both pulled, and they did a really good job leading the way for Jameer Gordon to score there. That's exactly what they needed. On to kick the extra point is Ethan Graham out of the hold of Brody Burke. Low snap. Burke gets it down, and Graham gets it through the uprights to make it 21-7 with 6:36 to play in the 3rd quarter.
Well,
it's a big score for the Gales.
That's a huge score for the Gales. Whatever Coach Schudover said to him at halftime seemed to work. Again, and I'm sure it was some variation of, guys, settle down.
Yeah.
We know we can play with this team. Save for 3 plays, then it's a really close football game. And they come out in the first drive. You're able to put the ball in the end zone. Now you're only down by 2 scores. Your defense has played played great thus far tonight. So it's just a matter of continuing that momentum. And then who knows what can happen. You get another stop here and get your offense the ball back.
Yeah, and being, having the ball to start the half was huge, because being down 3 scores, sometimes this Gales offense is a slow-moving offense, but they've done a really good job of mixing in passing, especially in that drive right there with Whitlatch.
Yeah, they really did. Whitlatch had a couple really nice plays. Again, we haven't seen Cam Griffin. I think he was open on that last play again, but they had the really nice completion. So they've got other things that they can do here that they can still uncork here if they need to. But, again, it's a matter of them playing within themselves, not getting outside of themselves. They didn't on that drive. They took what the defense gave them, had a nice methodical drive down the field, and they put 7 points on the board.
And they're in at the point now they don't have to get off schedule. They could kind of stay with what they're used to, get a stop here, and it's a new ball game.
A lot of football left to be played, absolutely.
6:36 to play in the 3rd quarter, 21-7 after the Gales score. Graham to kick it away. Kick will be taken. It'll be a touchback. As he got it about a yard into the end zone. To be honest, I'm kind of surprised on that last one. When the Gales returned it, Whitlatch had a foot in the end zone. High school football, if it goes into the end zone, no matter what, it's a touchback. But he was able to bring it back.
Yeah, I think they just might have missed that back foot. And again, I'm not exactly sure on the rules because we've already been called on it once. So I don't know if it's the whole body has to be out or if the ball doesn't cross and 1 foot's in. If that doesn't qualify as a touchback, not exactly sure.
There's a look at Whitlatch and Santini talking about what's going on the offense as their defense is on the field now. They need a stop right here. Baker Bowden out of the shotgun, hands it to King. King has pressure, and he's going to be wrapped up and brought down. Who got him from behind there? Just hung on to his jersey. Nick Evans led the way and just was holding on for dear life till his teammates could get there and clean it up.
Yeah, and that's a great job there by Evans, just holding on. King is not an easy running back to bring down.
Man, Evans just came right through there.
Yeah. Just an immediate penetration, just blew up the play. Great job there, and again, it didn't let him get away is the huge thing. As we saw, he can get away and break your back on a huge play.
2nd and 8 after the gain of 2. Gales fans coming to life here on the near side. Bowden, screen pass. Was it caught or not? Either way, it's going to be looks like, he caught it, but it's a loss.
Oh.
He had to go to the ground to catch it. It's going to go for a 4-yard loss.
Yeah, and that's a rare mistake by Bowden. Just throw it a little low. You got a receiver there. You want to get it to him as high as you can and give him a chance to run with it. He has to go down and make the catch. Even if he would have caught the ball, without going to the ground, it would have been tough for him to come back up and get his momentum going forward before the defenders got there.
3rd down and 12 for the Cruisers. Bowden fakes the handoff, coming in around. On the near side, coming toward you, it's Moore. And Moore out to the 30. That's really close to the first down. Going to depend on the spot, and they're going to give him the first down.
Credit to Moore. And they are going to give him the first down. I did not think when he first got this football that he was going to be able to get the first down. We'll see here on the replay. First of all, he gets away. Number 7, Kevin Monahan, almost had him. And right there.
Oh, good move.
Yeah, he makes Xavier Havlicek miss.
Look how far he's dragging guys with him.
Right, yeah.
They would have had him stopped, but he.
And that's the difference between a 3 and out and a new set of downs. Again, just having that athleticism on an end around on 3rd and long to get the first.
Bowden hands off. This time it's Nicholas Hodge, and Hodge is going to be stacked up, and they'll give him forward progress to the 31, a gain of 1.
Yeah, credit to that interior line there for the Golden Gales. They've done a really nice job tonight. We've talked a lot about the linebackers, but also those defensive tackles have played really strong, on the inside there. Aaron Bana leading the charge. Some of the others there.
2nd and 9. Clock rolls down to 4:10 to play in the 3rd quarter. Glad to have you along on this beautiful Friday night for this OCC Buckeye battle between the Cruisers of Groveport and the Gales of Lancaster. Bowden's pass out to the right side is complete. Going to be a short gain on the play. Completed to number 4. That's Jariah Golden.
Yeah, Baker Bowden was sure he wasn't going to short hop that one.
Yeah.
On that one. He made sure he got out there with plenty of arm strength and did a nice job getting the ball to Jariah Golden. And again, another one of those, just amazing playmakers. Sometimes you want to take shots down the field, try to get him to high point the ball. Other times you just stand up and throw him the ball as quickly as you can and let him run.
Yep. There's another big 3rd down coming up for the Cruisers offense and the Gales defense. The last one was 3rd and 12, and they ran an end around to get the first down. This time Bowden will have 1 running back behind him. He's got 2 receivers down to the bottom, 1 to the top. Bowden, his pass is complete to the 38 and across the 40 for a first down. On the receiving end, it's number 11, Jeremiah Moore.
Yeah, and I'm not sure, on a 3rd and 5 or 6 or whatever that was, to be playing that far off of the receiver, I don't know if that was the play call or the choice made by the defensive back on that one, but that is just something you cannot do to give that much room. You're just asking them to just run to the stick and turn around. There's no way the defender's going to get there in time. It's as easy a pitch and catch you'll get for a first down.
1st and 10. Here's King. King gets near the 35, or 45 rather.
King on the carry.
Give him a gain of 3 on the play.
2nd and 7.
And the thing about this drive, Jared, again, they haven't made 2 or 3 first downs thus far. Haven't moved a whole lot on the side of the field, but the time that they're eating away on the clock, these are all runs, staying in bounds, very few incomplete passes. Time is a luxury that Lancaster does not have. Again, still a lot of football left to play, but something where if they were able to, to get them stopped, or at least, force them in completions or stoppages of the clock. They haven't been able to do that, and now we're down inside 2 minutes, and they're still very early in this drive.
Look who's come in on offense.
Joyce.
And he was
Huge
the lead
block.
blocker for King. King across midfield, still on his feet, jumping over guys, and dragging him all the way down inside the 40-yard line to the 32. What a run by King.
Great run here by King, we're going to see, but again, Jalen Joyce gets the huge block initially up through the hole, just springs King. And King busted through tackles there. He's hit there.
That?
There's another 5. Now another 10 yards. He steps out of another tackle. Now he's 15 yards down the field after that initial contact. He's dragging 3 Lancaster defenders. It finally takes to get him down. And just for good measure, you've got Joyce pushing him from behind.
My.
And another crushing
wow.
block.
Joyce.
Or a run, excuse me. Joyce was the ball carrier on that one.
Wow. Just lowered the boom on that carry. But how about, King, Rayshad King, he's not very big. He's what, 5'11", 170 pounds? That's not huge.
No, it's not. And
but he runs bigger than he is.
That's exactly what it is. You talk about basketball players sometimes that play bigger than they are.
Yeah.
You got Charles Barkley, he's 6'4", but he plays like he's 6'8", 6'9".
Right.
Similar to a runner. King, he runs much bigger than his stats look.
Carey going to get up to about the 20-yard line here. Didn't see who had the football. He's got so many weapons. There's Josiah Foster. That gets him up to the 20, second down and 8. Clock under a minute to go in the third quarter.
And again, continuing to chew up that clock. The play clock hasn't started yet, on second down. And they could take it all the way down to inside of 5 seconds on this play if they want to.
Gales definitely need a stop on this drive if they can get one. Play clock down to 13. Now a whistle and a flag.
Legal substitution.
Yeah, substitution infraction on Groveport. It's a break for the Gales.
Yeah, that's one of the downsides of having a lot of different personnels in formation.
Yeah.
Is, sometimes the kids just get a little confused. Am I in on this play? Am I at the A back, the B back, the Z on this play? Am I at the wing slot back position? Just can sometimes get a little confusing. You got multiple guys coming in and out of the huddle.
Right. Goes from 2nd and 8 to 2nd and 13 here. Ball spotted at the 25-yard line. They can run the play clock all the way down to about 4 seconds, or the game clock down to about 4 seconds here in the third. Bowden pitches it out to King. King up to about the original line of scrimmage. Landon Knock made the stop for Lancaster, and that will end the third quarter.
Third quarter, Lancaster 20, or Lancaster 7, Groveport 21.
And we'll take a second here, Jared, to thank our second half scoreboard sponsor, Buckeye Lake Marina. If you're looking for a new boat, a great pre-owned watercraft, or a place to get parts for your boat, Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. For more information, it can be found at BuckeyeLakeMarina.com.
I want to say thanks to our Interphase Video Productions crew tonight. Bob Campetti is down on the truck. Josh Messerly, Donnie Ziegfeld, Dylan Panchel. Also on cameras tonight, Jason Roush, Tom Russo, and Jim Spires. Of course, we want to say thanks as well to Shane Messina, who came out when it was hotter and helped set up.
He did all the hard work.
Yeah,
Thanks, Shane.
How about this? What is it, September 20th, and it's 90 degrees today?
Yeah.
There's a look at Tom Russo down on the field.
Tom's going to get some great shots tonight.
He has. Checking some scores from other games. Amanda is drawing closer to Circleville. It's now 19-11 in the third quarter. Miller leads Bern Union 22-0 at halftime. Millersport with a big lead on, not a big lead, but a lead on Federal Hocking, 16-12. It is Logan Elm all over Fairfield Union right now, 28-0 in the third quarter. Bloom Carroll leads, check that. Don't have the updated score for Bloom Carroll and Liberty Union. We'll get some other scores for you around the area as well. Some other intriguing games going on. So we'll check those. Right here on 3rd down and 9, It's going to be a stop by the Gales. It's going to be a no gain for Groveport.
And again, that defensive line, that time it was Kevin Monahan that came through there. Nice job of getting the stop there. That's a huge stop for Lancaster.
4th down and 8. And it looks like they're going to bring on, are they going to bring on the field goal team?
Looks to be so. Of course, they have so many personnel substitutions, it's hard to tell who's coming on and off.
And they're not in any hurry, are they? He's in town. No, they are not going to bring on the field goal team.
I don't think they're going to get it off.
Bowden will line King up behind him. Play clock down to 2 to 1. They do snap it with 1. Bowden fires over the middle, over the reach of his intended receiver, and that's a good stop by the Gales defense. Huge stop.
Huge stop, and you wonder, not to second guess Coach Westkid here, but you wonder if they take a timeout there. They certainly was discombobulated there coming out of the huddle. Maybe just take your time and make sure you know what you're doing there, but nevertheless they get the snap off. Bowden has a slight window there, but it's tough. It's pretty covered pretty well there. Number 33, Jackson Reynolds, did a nice job from his linebacker spot, staying with the receiver coming through.
Some other scores, listen to this one. Pick Central leads Canal Winchester 30-17. That one in the 3rd quarter. Yeah. Canal Winchester's hanging around. Sheridan leads John Glenn 17-7. It's Tri-Valley all over New Lexington 34-7. And we'll get some more coming up here. Here's a run by Isaiah Sweat. He hasn't carried the ball a lot tonight, but I did notice he was on the sideline kind of ginger on an ankle, which is why we've seen a lot of Jameer Gordon.
Okay. That would make sense. Again, they haven't been in this formation much with, the traditional wing tee with just the single back there in the motion. But Isaiah Sweet, again, another weapon that they can use. We'll see if they incorporate him a little more now.
2nd down and 6. Here's Gordon this time. Gordon up near the 30 to about the 29. It'll be 3rd down and 1 for the Gales. It was Sweat again.
It was Sweat again, yeah.
And now we've got an injury timeout. Somebody getting up slow or staying down for Groveport on that defensive side. Is that Tyreek Ruffin?
Yeah, it looks like it's number 1. Yeah, that would be Ruffin.
Well, while he's down, I can tell you some other scores. Grove City leads Hilliard Darby 28-9. How about this one? Last week, Tays Valley picked up their first ever OCC win. They might get their 2nd tonight. They lead Reynoldsburg 14-7 in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, Tays Valley, we got a chance to see them earlier in the season against Bloom Carroll. They have a really good football team.
Yes, they do.
Again, they won't wow you, blow you away, but they are solid in every phase, particularly in the defensive end. They made some huge defensive stops against Bloom Carroll. They've got a good running back, a good quarterback. They just make good plays, and they're going to be a tough out for anybody in the playoffs. They might actually make some noise themselves and continue to make good strides in their first year in the OCC Buckeye.
Speaking of the OCC Buckeye, I think we have schedules of both these teams coming up. What's to come for them for the rest of the season. We are in week number 5, the midway point. So 5 more games to go after this week. There's the Groveport schedule.
Yeah, and if you look at Groveport's schedule, I don't know that there was a team in the state that felt better after they're starting 2-0 than Groveport did. You look at those 2 wins. Hilliard Bradley, it's a deep run in the playoffs that they made last year, and then Gahanna, one of the best teams in the state. They beat both of those teams coming out of the gate, stubbed their toe against Big Walnut, but again, they still have an excellent opportunity with all the talent they have to really make a run at a league title.
Gales on 3rd and 1. They're going to be stopped in the backfield. It was that Gordon on the carry or Sweat? I think it was Sweat on the carry.
I'm not sure.
And that's going to be a loss of 1, make it 4th down and 2.
Looked like Damari Sandiford made a great play coming in from his linebacker spot, number 0.
Lancaster not fortunate enough to have a guy like Jalen Joyce.
Right.
Big bruising running
exactly,
back.
yeah. It makes all the difference. And Joyce doesn't even play a majority of the offensive snaps.
Right.
So it is a nice luxury to have him come on the field. He's actually lined up over in the guard on this play. We'll see if he makes a huge play on this 4th down.
Gales have to go for it here. Out of the shotgun, Burke hands it off, and they're not going to get it. Wow. He came through there in a hurry and made the stop.
You saw it immediately, Jared. He just beat his man just with a nice swim move immediately. Gets right in the backfield. See on the replay. Look on the left side of your screen, Keyshawn Calhoun. Right in, just tosses the guy to the side, and boom. blows the play
no
up
shot
before
at
the
that.
running back even gets to the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
And again, it's just that kind of talent. I mean, that guy's going to Indiana for a reason.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's asking a lot. You understand why Lancaster wants to go for it on that play, but short yardage, and then you have Keyshawn Calhoun and Jalen Joyce lined up in the middle there. Even if you're running outside the tackles, they have the ability to shoot the gaps and make a play in the backfield.
So Groveport with outstanding field position here. Already at the 25-yard line of Lancaster, 1st and 10, and leading at 21-7, but 9:27 to play in the ball game. Baker will hand it off. Going right up the middle to the 19.
Nicholas Hodge Jr. on the
Hodge
carry.
on the carry.
Tackled by Lancaster's 51, Nick Evans. And number 7, Kevin Monahan.
Make it 2nd down and 6 coming up for the Cruisers.
And again, the Gales, this defense has held strong, so we'll see if they stopped them inside the 30-yard line on the last series. So if they're able to get a stop here and not take too much time off the clock, this game may not be entirely over yet.
Gales won the 3rd quarter, 7-0.
Yeah, right.
See if they can win the 4th.
Good play.
Bowden to pass. This one's up for grabs.
Oh,
Caught for the touchdown.
Oh,
That's Jariah Golden.
Number 4,
He just went up high.
For the touchdown.
High pointed at football and brought it in for the touchdown. What a pass by Bowden.
And again, what do you do? Because Bowden puts it right on the money. We're going to see here on the replay. Just a straight drop back, max protect. It's a one receiver route, Jared. It's just throw it up and go get it. You know you got one-on-one on the outside, and we said it in the pregame. These receivers have an incredible advantage, height-wise, athleticism-wise, high pointing the ball. If you're the cornerback, what do you do?
Yeah, that's
what
impressive.
do you do?
Not much you can do.
Yeah. And that's, again, number 32, Ryder Smith. He just kind of shrugs and says, guys, what do you want me to do? I'm in position. And Ryder Smith is a good football player. We saw he had a pick 6 last week. Would have blown the game over, open, against Taze Valley. But, you know, when you're going up against a guy that's got 4 or 5 inches on you,
right?
Not much you got.
Extra point makes it 28-7. Let's take a look at Lancaster's upcoming schedule.
Yeah, again, the Gales 2-2 here. Looks like they, you know.
I think they feel like they have a legit chance to at least win the last 4 games of the season. Going to be tough.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to be easy. There's some tough games, especially Canal Winchester.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, they're really in the roughest part of their schedule right now. They played Taze Valley last week, and that's one that really hurts because they let it slip away. They had Taze Valley on the ropes and let them off, so they lost that game. Not going real well against Groveport tonight, and then they've got Pick Central next week. So it's, you know, a murderer's row there right in the middle. But again, it's a matter of just staying poised. Again, who knows? You know, anything can happen. They play Pick Central next week, but they want to stay, you know, poised. Hopefully, pick up some wins and maybe run the table in their last 4, like you said.
Next week is homecoming here at Fulton Field as they play Pickerington Central, and I'm not sure who made that the homecoming game, but
didn't do them any favors, did they?
They did not. Kickoff be taken at the 1-yard line. Looks like, is that Sweat on the carry or is that McCoy?
Santini on the return.
Santini, number 5 on the return.
Brought down by Groveport's number 18.
He looks gimpy coming up.
He does.
That's not good.
So here's where the Gales need to speed up the offense a little more. We're probably going to see some passing here. They've got the ability. I mean, Burke has done a really good job finding his receivers. His receivers have done a good job getting open. Been very impressed with Burke stepping up into the pocket. When he sees those defensive tackles coming in out of those defensive ends, he's doing a good job of stepping up.
Yeah, good pocket presence by Burke, you know, the whole season has shown it tonight. And again, throwing with anticipation. He throws with much more confidence and anticipation. The receivers are just, we've seen him a couple times with Whitlatch. As soon as he comes open, that ball's on him. So if he can continue to do that on this drive, maybe get a couple quick scores, we'll see what happens.
Gale's going to take a timeout. We can tell you that coming up next week, we'll be down on the Grove, Sugar Grove, as Millersport will head down to take on Bern Union in a Mid-State League Cardinal Division matchup. And at last check, looks like Miller all over Bern Union tonight, 35-0. Meanwhile, Millersport going to get their second win of the season. They're leading big, 22-12 against Federal Hockey. So Millersport's a team, you know, on the rise. They just brought football back a few years ago, and getting better every step of the way, and that's all you can ask for.
That's all you can ask for. And I personally am happy to see that as an old Mid-State League player myself who had some really tough battles against Millersport, came out on the wrong end of it a couple of times. They had a really good program in the late 90s. They really did.
Yeah.
And did some, some nice things, and it was good to see some of those players get. So I hated to see that program go away. But since it's been back, again, they're just slowly building it.
Right.
Slowly building it. Getting the numbers, that's getting the kids excited about playing, and now you're seeing they're making some noise.
Marion and Tim will be on the call with that one. I'll be right here at Fulton Field. It's homecoming night for the Gales, and my daughter will have a chance to cheer with the varsity squad. So.
As happy as I am for you in Brooklyn, I'm not thrilled to do play-by-play next week, so I'll do my best.
You will do great.
I will be nowhere close to what you do, my friend.
2nd down and 5, 8:08 and counting here in the 4th quarter. Burke trying to get away from pressure, somehow does, but then brought down over on the far side at about the 22-yard line. And he's staying down. Getting up very slowly. I know he was taking some hits there as he was spinning and trying to get away.
Yeah, and Brody's a tough kid, but this Groveport defensive front just comes at you in waves, and he's been running for his life tonight. Just hope that he's okay on this play and doesn't have any lasting injuries that might linger for the remainder of the season.
Keep in mind, this is a Lancaster team that's still really young. I mean, they play several sophomores, juniors. Brody Burke's a junior. Running backs, Isaiah Sweat's a junior. Jamir Gordon just a sophomore.
Yeah.
I mean, this is going to be a team, and their defense. A lot of their defense is younger guys. Now they lose some offensive linemen.
That's right.
Which is going to hurt.
Yeah.
Their skill positions will be back.
Yeah, those seniors in the offensive line, they do make a difference. We haven't seen a lot of it tonight, again, because they've been playing from behind a lot. They haven't been able to play ball control, but having that luxury of just that size up front, I'm sure Sweat and Gordon, among the others, really appreciate them up front. But they've got some ability. This is as talented at the skills position as Lancaster's been in years. Really, I would say. So they have a lot to be excited about. This OCC Buckeye, though, this division is just so tough. I mean, again, just to have 3 games in the middle there. Normally, with Groveport being, the powerhouse that they've become the last couple of years, Pick Central is always going to be Pick Central. And then you got Taze Valley,
right?
That's stepping up and having an incredible season and can sneak up on you if you don't take care of business as the Gales didn't last week. So it's a lot, but, again, still a lot that they can be excited about going forward.
Yep. 3rd down and 8 here for the Gales. 7:18 and counting here in the 4th quarter. Burke again on the run. And his pass is complete. What a catch by Whitlatch. The tip drill came in handy there.
Yeah, Whitlatch has had some incredible clutch plays tonight.
Yes, he has. Watch it here on the replay.
Yeah,
Dagger Law replay.
And again, this pocket presence by Brody Burke knows exactly where to go, slides enough to make and a nice throw on the run. Wow. Couldn't put that in a better spot. Again,
man, if he could have kept his feet,
he might have taken that to the house. He could have done something. But again, getting open on these defensive backs is not an easy thing to do. And Whitlatch goes 5'11", 155, going against a lot of guys that are 6'4", 180, 185. Just for him to get open, for Burke to put it in that spot and make a play like that is very impressive.
Yep. They barely get the play off, but a flag comes in, and this one is overthrown.
Flag on the play.
It's going to go against the Gales.
Against Lancaster.
Jamir Gordon came on late, and they called him for an illegal shift. Meanwhile, you're playing against several D1, D2 commits, and I mean, you look at Josh Moore. He currently holds 6 Division I offers.
Wow.
His brother Jeremiah Moore, 7 Division I offers. They've got Jalen Joyce, who has several Division II offers, and I bet you that's going to go to Division I real soon.
I bet, yeah.
And then Keyshawn Calhoun has already committed to Indiana. They are just loaded at Groveport this year.
Yeah, Calhoun jumped all sides again, but that's okay. Again, and that's the thing. It's when you go that deep at so many different positions. D1 players, you're fortunate if you're a coach. You have 2 or 3 kids that are getting looks like that, but to have 7, 8 kids that are getting looks like that, and these kids, by and large, all do the right thing.
Yep.
I heard Coach Westcamp earlier in the interview talking about how great of a person Keyshawn Calhoun is, in addition to what he's done on the field.
Wow, penalty after penalty.
That's a tough one.
But that's awesome to hear, Marion. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, 3.0 GPA, Keyshawn Calhoun, and you know, going to IU, it's an incredible school.
Well, and they're doing good this year. I mean,
absolutely,
how about Curtis Rourke?
Yeah,
the Bobcat.
I know.
He's tearing it up. Of course, he won't be there next year.
Yeah, that's a tough one for us Bobcats here to handle. Our old quarterback now playing well for IU. But that, again, that's a program that's on the rise. So you're really excited for Keyshawn Calhoun to get an opportunity to be at a school like that, continue his playing career.
1st and 15 after the penalty on the Gales. Sweat goes in motion. Burke to pass, has pressure, steps up. Good job by Burke, and hits his man at midfield. That's Cameron Griffith.
Pass complete to Lancaster's 88, Cam Griffith.
And another flag on the play. And it's going to be coming back, a hold on the Gales. It's unfortunate. That was they finally were able to get the ball to Cameron Griffith. I mean, Griffith just looks the part, doesn't he?
He really does, yeah.
I mean, 6'5", 245, just a junior, tight end.
Yeah, and he's a great blocker.
Yep.
He really is. So, you know, it'll be nice to continue to follow his career. Again, good ball skills, able to high point the football. If he doesn't have any Division I looks, I would be shocked if he doesn't have any by the end of this season.
You know, I know that some other areas, Muskingum Valley League and some Licking County, they do an all-star game. I would love to see like a Fairfield County all-star. Could you imagine Cameron Griffith and Michael Stevenson, 2 tight ends set? I mean, Blue
Stevenson, Carroll, yeah, that'd be something else. Again, who are you going to cover? You got mismatches across the board. No, but I mean, you mentioned that Licking Muskingum game. That's something I was fortunate enough to play, and it's really cool. You know, because of the tradition of it, and you know, it's such a rivalry, and it kind of gets built up going into the off season. It's the first thing you're looking forward to if you're a senior on the football field. So that would be really cool to see them try to incorporate something like that here in Fairfield County.
2nd down and 25 for the Gales. Shooting themselves in the foot on this drive. Burke back to pass. Hits his man, that's Santini. Santini up to the 40-yard line, gets a chunk of it back. Bring up a 3rd and 15.
And if you're Lancaster here, you want to go tempo here, and it looks like they are just getting on the ball. See if you can get a chunk of it here. You don't want to try to get it all in this play. Just see if you can get 8 or 9 and make it in a 4th down and reasonable.
Burke again to pass, lofts one out. Whitlatch catches it at the 42 and is hit immediately. And Whitlatch slow getting up on the sideline. Official going to check on him because he did get up slow. Officials are now coached up to do that. You know, with all the head injuries.
Yeah.
You know, they know what to look for in a player.
Yeah, and it's very important. Again, I mean, you've seen so much of those Guardian caps that have gotten, you know, the such publicity here lately for good measure. You know, it's just a matter of trying to do the right thing and keep players safe.
4th and 12 for the Gales. They will punt. Nobody back deep to receive it for Groveport. It's an end-over-end kick. Takes a Gales bounce and now kind of just checks up at the 28-yard line. So Groveport will go back on offense with 4:44 to play in the game, leading at 28-7. And Marion, you get the task tonight, so you better start thinking. You get the task of selecting our players of the game, one from each team. So we'll get to that here in just a little bit. There's so many guys, you know, that we could choose from. I mean, I have a couple in mind, but see what you think.
Yeah, as do I. But again, kind of narrowing it down to just one, especially on the Groveport side. That's going to be really difficult.
Yeah. 1st and 10 for Groveport. They lead it 28-7, 4:44 to play. Baker Bowden pitches it out to King, and then he goes to block. Man, you just do not see that very often, do you?
King on the carry brought down by Lancaster's Tony McCoy. There is a flag on the play.
McCoy makes a stop for the Gales. See what the penalty is. It goes on Groveport, so to back him up, that's a 10-yard penalty. Must have been a hold over there. I didn't see the call.
I didn't see the call either, but yeah, it must have been a hold. Okay.
Again, we apologize. Usually we have them mic'd up. Tonight they were supposed to use the stadium mic, but it is not working. So we don't have it mic'd up with our microphone. 1st and 20 for the Cruisers. Bowden's pass is complete. Over here to number 4. That's Jariah Golden. And he's going to be wrapped up by a host of Gales at the 23-yard line.
Yeah, one of the things we haven't talked much about tonight is about what Bowden does in the pre-snap before the play. You know, I was listening again to an interview with Coach Westcamp earlier in the season, and he was saying that he has given a lot of the reins on this offense to Bowden at the line of scrimmage to be able to call plays, to get them in the right play, change the play if he needs to. He's given him so much autonomy despite being a sophomore.
Yeah.
Looked like he had it there, but again, he says that it's not just something he's given to him. He's earned it because of the film study that he does, because of the work that he puts in, and he's really got a maturity that you don't see among most 15-year-olds, kind of wise beyond his years, and does a tremendous job running this offense.
You know, we mentioned all the guys getting looks, and mark it down. He's going to have.
Oh yeah.
He's going to have his choice of places to go to as well, I believe.
Right. Yeah. And again, a lot of folks I know maybe 10, 15 years ago they would have said, "Oh, he's too small." You know, so I think he has good size, better size than you think. And we see a lot of quarterbacks at the Division II and even Division I level, 6 foot, throw with anticipation, have good athleticism, and can still play really good football. So, again, I'm with you, Jared. I think he's going to be a tremendous football player, and will make some noise at the next level.
Let's get to our players of the game. Let's go ahead and do those right now. What do you say, Marion?
All right, I'll take a stab at it.
Let's go with our Lancaster player of the game first. Brought to you by Buckeye Lake Marina. If you're looking for a new boat, a great pre-owned watercraft, or a place to get parts for your boat, Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. More information can be found at buckeyeLakeMarina.com.
Yeah, so I think.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? That's the. I just read the scoreboard sponsor you read earlier. But we thank Buckeye Lake Marina. They're our scoreboard sponsor. We'll get to our Buffalo Wild Wings Lancaster player of the game right now, since that play is over. So let me read you this about Buffalo Wild Wings. Thanks to Larry Tipton and the crew for great food, great service, and the best sports viewing in town. It's all Buffalo Wild Wings in the Plaza Shopping Center on North Memorial Drive in Lancaster.
You know what you're doing. You just give me more time to think.
Exactly.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Didn't help much. No, I think, had a lot of good players for Lancaster despite the scoreboard. They've had some players that have done a nice job. I think the one I would give the player of the game to is Andrew Whitlatch. Again, did a really nice job in the return game and had some clutch catches to keep that drive going, particularly at the beginning of the second half. Was huge in the passing game, and again, those catches were great. Burke did a great job of getting him the football, but he made those catches, and I would say he's the player of the game for Lancaster.
He was the one I had in mind as well, as Groveport's going to rip off a long run here. Finally ridden down at about the 30-yard line. The carry by number 23, that's Josiah Foster. The stop made by number 19, Brody Brockle. But again, congratulations to number 13 of the Gales. That's Whitlatch, our player of the game for Lancaster.
Yeah, and on this replay, Jared, Josiah Foster, he's another one. Yeah, he's probably third or fourth when you come to the runners for Groveport, but it's very shifty, does a nice job in the open field, and has great vision. He showed all of it on that play there. Just, again, an embarrassment of riches at the skill positions for Groveport.
We have an injury on the field. Brody Brockle made that tackle, and he'll be playing quarterback tomorrow for the JV football team as they head up to Groveport. Let's get to the Groveport player of the game. Groveport player of the game is brought to you by the Carriage Company, located at 1031 North Memorial Drive in Lancaster. Learn more at carriagecompany.com. I think this one's a little more difficult.
This is the tough one, yeah. We've got a number of players that could be up for this. First and foremost, Keyshawn Calhoun has done an amazing job making huge plays in the backfield, stopping drives. He's a contender. Jalen Joyce, of course, what he's done on the offensive and defensive side of the football. Can't forget about Rashad King, who's done a great job. But who I'm going to say is the player of the game, I'm going to say is Baker Bowden. Here's my rationale. First of all, he had the first touchdown of the game where he kind of pulled the end around and took off running around the end untouched. He also had those passes that were scored in the end zone. He's the one who's putting it right on the money. And also the long run by Rashad King. The things that don't show up on the stat sheet. He threw that key block that sprung King to get to the end zone. All those things considered. And, again, has done an amazing job of being the general of this offense, I would say he's the player of the game.
I'll take a Tim Shoemaker line and say he's the straw that stirs the drink.
That's it. That's exactly right.
Here's a little screen pass by Bowden out to, I think that's number 8 for Groveport. That's Joshua Moore, and he almost takes it to the house.
Yeah, and that shows you why he's getting the Division I offers that he is. That's, again, let's just stand up and throw him the football and let him be an athlete. He's just turning around. Bowden gets the ball in stride, shows the speed to get to the outside here, and then watch this move here at the end. Not that one, but this one.
Wow.
That's as impressive as it gets. And then another one for good measure, just making the defenders
all while his pants are falling down. How did he do that?
Even more impressive.
Yeah. Clock rolls down inside of 3 minutes at 2:14 and counting. Groveport has the ball first and goal at the 6-yard line. But congratulations to our players of the game for both sides as Jalen Joyce going to walk into the end zone for the touchdown. How about that? Giving him, I like that from Coach Westcamp. He's done so good tonight in just spot play on offense.
Yeah.
You know, when they need a first down, he'll get 5, 10, and now it's like, let's reward him. Let's get him a touchdown.
And how'd you like to be a corner to see this running at you? Actually, the receiver did a really nice job blocking on that one, so he really wasn't in the play. He goes in that touch. But, again, he's a spot player, almost, you know, in the vein of a refrigerator Perry, but way more skilled than
much faster.
And much faster, exactly.
The extra point, high snap, gets it down, and the kick is good. And that will make it 35-7 with 2:02 to play as late flags come in.
Flags on the play.
You don't like to see the unsportsmanlike stuff happen.
I don't know which team it was on.
Dead ball, personal foul.
I'm not so certain it wasn't accidental. It looked like somebody tripped over somebody else, but may have been pushed. I don't know. I didn't see it.
I thought it was I couldn't tell how intentional the push was, or if it was just kind of a last-minute thing, or if it was, you know, had some malice behind it. But we'll see the replay here.
So the pile is kind of just piled up as the ball goes through the uprights. There's a scrum definitely right there. And as a Gale player gets up, here comes. Oh, he got dragged down.
Yeah, that's when the guy that was on the ground. 33.
And two officials right on top of it saw it.
Yeah, and that's the right call there. Yeah, he may have just been a little frustrated, thought that the Lancaster player was stepping on him or
I think it was
doing something disrespectful.
Right.
So, you know, you just try to keep your cool there.
So that'll back him up for the kickoff. Groveport leads at 35-7 with 2:02 to play in the ball game. Marion, how about this score? Amanda Clear Creek has charged back. They've tied it up 26-26.
Wow.
Late in the third quarter. Miller all over Byrne Union, 35-0. The Falcons are a pretty good football team. They're going to give a run to for the money. I mean, Grove City Christian, we saw them last week.
Yeah.
They're really good, but I would love to see that game between Grove City Christian and Miller.
Yeah,
not sure if it's. I mean, if that. Think about that trip though.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know where it is. I don't know if it's at Corning or if it's up in Grove City. But either way, that is a long trip to make.
That's a haul for whoever the away team is for sure.
So Jackson Lutz will kick it off from his own 25-yard line. Still boots it all the way down to the 17. Whitlatch will take it and bring it back to the middle of the field. Whitlatch trying to break it out across the 40 and brought down to about the 42-yard line. Whitlatch is, we talked about his receiving, but his return game has been really good.
Yeah, it has, and it's only a matter of time before he breaks one of those for the Gales, and it's going to be huge when he does. You know, again, it can be a backbreaker. I think it really was for Lancaster last week. Taze Valley, they had a good lead on Taze Valley, and they kicked off to him, and Taze Valley was able to return it all the way for a touchdown. And that really started to turn the game around for Taze Valley. It can be, making plays like that in the returning can be huge, and they've got a good one in Whitlatch. And he does all the right things. Again, secures the football, runs north and south, and has good quickness and speed. They've got a good one there.
And he's another guy that's just a junior.
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
First and 10 here for the Gales. They'll bunch it in tight. Hand it right up the middle. New quarterback into the game, Brett Toronto.
Colin Thomas on the carry.
who actually, Brett Toronto, has played quarterback the last couple weeks for the JV team and done a really nice job. Bracco had a hand injury, and so Toronto has played, so who knows? He might be the starter tomorrow.
Yeah, and as deep as this varsity team is for Groveport, I would be very impressed to see their JV team. I don't know what their record is, but I've got to think with this kind of talent going down the roster, the JV team's got to be pretty good too.
Toronto again hands it off. I think it's Thomas on the carry again. Gets it across the original line of scrimmage.
And if you're Groveport, you know, you just, again, trotting off now, Malachi Clinton Aidanya, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that last name, 305 pounds, coming in at the backup defensive tackle position. How'd you like to try to move that on the interior part of the line of scrimmage?
Lost his helmet, so he had to come off the field. Gales taking their time getting the play in with 3rd down and 9. Play clock down to 3. Toronto gives it on the end around. Good run here. 1st down for the Gales on the carry. That's number 22 for Lancaster. That's Alex Cade
on the carry.
It's a good hard run for Cade.
Yeah, that was a nice run there. Down inside 20 seconds here. And again,
see if they even run another play.
Yeah.
They may not. I think they're just going to choose to let this one run out.
Yeah, and that's the right thing to do.
Yep. So Groveport comes to Lancaster, and they raise their record to 4-1 after tonight's win. Lancaster will drop to 2-3. This OCC Buckeye, boy, it's going to be a battle to the end, isn't it?
It is. And I would pay good money to see that matchup of Groveport versus Pickerington Central here coming up, because Groveport has the talent to dethrone the champs. I think it's been, 2-3 years since Pickerington Central lost the league game. Yeah. It's been something like that. So, but they're going to have their hands full with this Groveport football team. They are incredibly impressive in so many different facets of the game. They're able to make the big play because they have so many talented and athletic receivers on the outside. They've got great running backs. They've got incredible defensive talent, particularly up front. They're able to get after the quarterback, and then they've got a great quarterback. As you say, the straw that stirs the drink. Actually, Shuvie says that. But they've got a lot of weapons.
Well, Mariano, it's fun having you up in the booth with us, and you get a chance to put this headset on and do play-by-play next week.
Yeah, I'm going to do the best I can. You
You'll
set the bar pretty high, sir.
You will do great.
I will just try to not run the train directly off the track and keep it moving.
I want to invite you to join us. There it is. Next week we'll be down at Sugar Grove for the Burton Union Rockets hosting the Millersport Lakers. That one will be on the air right about the same time as tonight, just a little before 7 o'clock kickoff. Once again, your final score tonight, Groveport beats Lancaster 35-7. I want to say thanks to our Interface Video Productions crew once again. Bob Capetti, Josh Messerly, Donnie Ziegfeld, Dylan Panchel, Jason Roush, Tom Russo, and Jim Spires. Also Shane Messina, who came out earlier and helped set up. And again, final score tonight, Groveport moves to 4-1 on the season with a win 35-7 over Lancaster. For our entire Interface Video Productions crew, Mariano Royster, I'm Jared Stewart. Have yourselves a great night, everybody.
Interface Video presents the Buffalo Wild Wings High School Game of the Week. Brought to you by Dagger Long, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield Federal, Buckeye Toyota, Fairfield Medical Center, Buckeye Lake Marina, Personal Touch Party Rentals, Fairfield DD, North Body Shop, Fairfield County Adam H., The Carriage Company, The Savings Bank, Sheridan Funeral Home, and ExploreHawkingHills.com.